Okay, my friends. So it's Tuesday Tarot. We were having a nice thing happening here, lots of great questions, and I lost my internet. So we got it back. I wasn't able to go back on the same stream. So here we are, and I do not have access to the questions that you asked previously. I am so sorry for that. So whether you asked a question before or didn't, if you want to come on and ask a question now, I'll hang out for a few minutes and see if anyone wants to hop on and ask a question. So while I'm waiting, I do want to thank everyone who is a member of this channel. Really, really appreciate you. And I want to remind you that we have our Stars and Suns Zoom gathering coming up this Thursday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Link is up in the community thread, or you can email me. All right, people are starting to come on in. And if you had a question answered earlier, I don't care. Ask another question. Whatever you like. Thanks for being here and thanks for your patience. Technology is what technology is, right? So let's get her going. All right, Elizabeth Peralta, thank you so much. Will you struggle with money if you accept the new job position? You won't be poorer than you have been at other times in your life. But there will be some struggling for a while. So if you do decide to accept this job, then you want to make sure that you are prepared for the fact that there are some financial struggles. All right, everyone, thanks for finding your way back here. Thanks for your kindness. Really appreciate it. Ness, thank you so much for the second round. Yeah, we're going to do what we can, man. And if you lose me again, recognize it's probably not you, it's probably me. IT John is working on it. You know, he's awesome. So we're doing what we can. All right. Teresa C., thanks for being a member. Thanks for being a moderator. May I have a message from my ancestors? Sure. The message is, you are not responsible to hang on to beliefs and practices passed to you from your ancestors that do not serve you. You may cut a new path. You may do things in a new way. All right. Aisha, nice to see you. What does the universe, my angels, guides want me to know? Okay, here we go. That you are smart, that you are capable, that you can make your own decisions, and you shouldn't let other people cause you to second guess yourself. Pamela's Insight, so nice to see you. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being a moderator here. What is the root cause or trauma for spiritual mistrust? So can I ask you, we're a pretty small group right now. Can I ask you to clarify that? I don't know, like what does that mean? What is spiritual mistrust? Is that in general? Is that for you? Can you clarify that for me a little bit? Because I feel like there's something there we could really dig into that would be really great. But I'm not quite sure I understand what spiritual mistrust means. So I would love a clarification. And I want to say a big thank you to Vanny Veligaram, for the super chat. Really, really appreciate that. Thank you. Katie Kondo, thank you for the super sticker in the earlier broadcast. And thank you for being a member, Katie, as well. What should I work on manifesting from spring equinox to summer solstice? You should work on manifesting the things that will make your life easier and more successful. If that's a job, if that's a different living situation, a different care situation, work on manifesting those things, even though it's been hard to manifest those things. Doesn't matter. Keep working on it. Okay, Zainab Ali, nice to see you. Will Muhammad Ali leave Amna and when? I think he will, but that doesn't necessarily mean he's coming back to you. The way you've seen him to be is the way he is, so it's probably good to remember that. Okay, hang on a minute. Ali Mammon, nice question. How do you open and close a reading? Do you put up a circle so that only your spirit team pops in? How do you close the reading? And do you talk to your cards apart from your spirit team? Wow, there's a whole class there. What an interesting question. Because I divine every day, all day long, I am always in the space. And so for me, like the opening and the closing, when I'm reading for someone, it's opening to their energy, and then at the end, releasing their energy. But I do recommend, especially if you're not divining every day all the time, to definitely create spirits, sacred space and set your intentions. And I don't think that there's a way to talk to the cards apart from the spirit team. I don't believe that. Martha, nice to see you. How can I help my mom be healthier and get on a better path physically and emotionally? So you can be a good example. You can make suggestions, but in a way she doesn't want to. She doesn't feel a responsibility to do so. And it's almost like she would feel guilty. She feels guilty for allowing herself to be well. And so I feel like the key here, if anything, would be helping her to get to that root of that guilt. Why does she feel she does not deserve to be well? Helping her get to the root of that would be helpful. Okay. PL Day, nice to see you. Thanks for being a member here. The past keeps creeping into my dreams. Is there a message for me? So specifically regarding your past, I think it's about healing from, forgiving, releasing, learning from, and healing things from the past. I think you're in a space of doing that right now. And Ali Mammon, how do I remove my mental and physical block to follow through for my very pertinent habits I want to implement? So that's going to sound counterintuitive. Stop shaming yourself. You're in this place of shame where you don't do the things you want to do. You feel bad about yourself, and that makes it harder to do them. Let go of the shame. Ness, Madiha Ness, nice to see you. Thanks for being a member here. I'd like to know what I should know about the new project I'm working on. A couple of different designs are going on at the same time. How can I make it successful? Man, it's all about prioritizing. You have to figure out what to prioritize when. This is going to cause you a huge amount of anxiety if you are not careful. So the key is timing and priority, and recognizing that one week, one thing may be the priority, another week, another thing may be the priority, and you have to be clear and fluid with that. Pamela, everyone needs a good IT John. Oh my gosh, it's so true. We're so lucky to have one here. Jackie Masters, nice to see you. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being a member here. My birthday is in a few days. Happy birthday. I wanted to know what to expect for this birthday year. What do I need to know, look forward to, and what do I need to watch out for? So for this new year that you're coming into, know your intelligence. Know your ability to learn and to grow. Watch out for anything that makes you feel less than. Don't allow that. And look forward to creating what you want in your life and the ability to do that. Okay, Rockstar. I highly doubt that I'm going to do the right thing at this point in my life or go in the correct direction. Any advice? So who says what the right thing is or what the correct direction is? Like, according to whom? According to whom? And so when you say, I doubt I'm going to do the right thing, like, what does that even mean? Are you doubting yourself? Are you doubting your path? Are you clear about your path? I think you need to start by defining what the right thing in the right direction is, like according to whom. And then really looking at what's important to you. What are your goals? And if your goals are just to do what you want to do right here, right now, then that's a fine goal and that's your direction and that's what you're going to do. And there's nothing wrong with that. So I think there's a lot here that's coming in around like what's right and what's wrong. And I don't know where it's coming from, but I don't feel like it's you. And so rather than making yourself the bad one, I think it would be good for you to have agency over your own life and your own decisions, right? Okay. Pamela. So your mistrust of God and spirit. But again, I'm like, so whose version of that? Which God? Which spirit? You know, I feel like when we're looking at that, like, I feel like it's not really about a mistrust at all, as much as it is figuring out what you actually believe. Because you can't believe someone else's version of, like you can't believe in someone else's imaginary friends, right? And so when we talk about higher power, whatever you want to call higher power, different cultures, different people have different beliefs and expectations. And I think there's room. If higher power does indeed exist, which I think so, then higher power is big enough for us to understand and develop our own relationship with. But there is so much, like I like to think about the toxic edge of spirituality, right? That every religion, every school of spiritual thought has a toxic edge where if you're existing in the middle, everything's cool. But if you get to that edge, it's freaking toxic and it's dangerous. And so what informs your vision of what God is or isn't, or what spirit is or isn't? And what can you do to figure out what is true? So I feel like, if the answer, the question for the cards is, what is the root cause of your sense of mistrust? I feel like it's because you haven't done your own work to figure out what there is to trust. Right? And so if you're trying to trust what other people tell you you should, that's never going to work. Because our spiritual path for each and every one of us is super, super personal. How about that? Okay. Jacqueline V, nice to see you. A message for you. So the message for you is about self-care, taking care of your own interests, taking care of the things that matter for you, not being your own worst enemy, and being clear about your goals, your desires, and your needs, and making those things the priority. That's the directive. Okay, Vanny Velagaram, thank you again so much for the super chat. When can I get transfer of job location that I'm looking for? It's going to take a minute, and I think you may have to go through more steps to make your needs known. You may need to, you may need to ask for it in a different way. I do think it will happen. I would say August at the earliest, and at the latest, January, sometime between August and January. Hey, Ben, Libra Does Tarot. So nice to see you. How's the new job going? Thanks for being here. Thanks for being a member here. Okay. Catherine Fan, so nice to see you. Thanks for being here. How should I approach my one-on-one convo with my supervisor this month? These talks are a new thing we're trying out. Do you have any advice? Well, the advice is you're already going into this with a certain kind of trepidation. Like you're already thinking, man, we don't have good communication, and so these talks could fail. I think you have to go in without any expectation of success or failure. Come to the table openly and honestly, willing to communicate, putting the past behind you. Now, the supervisor is coming to the table begrudgingly. And so this could be a problem. Document everything. Go in with the right attitude. Be without blame and above reproach. Document everything. If it does work, great. If it doesn't work, at least you tried. And you have it documented that it's not your fault. And I'm sorry you're going through this. Okay. So back to it. I think this is just such a great conversation for us all to have, Pamela. I feel like I've blocked trusting God, and I don't know why, other than tied to abandonment issues. So here's the thing. There's a school of thought that says, well, trust God to take care of all your needs. If you pray, your prayers will be answered. And man, if you trust that, you are going to be disappointed. My mother used to say, God answers all prayers, but sometimes the answer is no. And so the idea of if we worship an all-powerful being that knows us and loves us and can sometimes answer our prayers the way we want and sometimes not, then what is it you're actually trusting? And so I think it comes down to, can you trust that there is some rhyme and reason and purpose in the universe? Can you trust that you have been created as a unique and special being? Can you trust that everything that happens, you will find a way to learn and grow from it? Trusting God to provide, what do they say, man? God helps those who help themselves. That's not God's job. And so I think there's this whole question about trusting God to do what, So there's that. Okay, George, thanks for being here. Will me and Sherry reconcile? There will be a conversation, I think, George. But I don't know if a reconciliation is really going to be possible or desirable. But a conversation is good. Ben, thanks for being here. Thanks for being a member. Thanks for using members-only emojis. Where should I focus my efforts for the new astro year? Toward learning from and healing from your past, remembering who you are, and figuring out where you want to go. Just those simple little things. Lydia, thanks for being here. What's the energy in my relationship right now? We had a major fight yesterday and I'm so confused. So I feel like this fight is based on insecurity. And you're insecure with each other, each for your own reasons, but it has to do with circumstances, not the relationship. If you want to make this work, I feel like what you're going to have to do is sort of recognize the insecurities that have nothing to do with the relationship and forgive the reaction to them on both sides. That would be what would be necessary. That we've been seeing problems in the relationship for a long time, but we know why. It's because of work and money and all of those issues. But the thing is, a relationship has to be able to withstand its issues. And I think you're coming to this crossroads where we're asking, in the olden days when we got married, we would say for better or for worse. Are you a couple that can hang in there for worse? That's the thing you have to figure out. Aria Wilson, nice to see you. Thanks for being here. What messages do my ancestors have for me? I'm feeling a little hopeless these days. I'm sorry. Okay, Aria Wilson, what messages do my ancestors have for me? Well, they recognize that you're going through a tough time, and they feel like you're going through a tough time because you have to heal from and put closure to some things in the past. So they want you to focus on your own healing. There it is. Oh, Jackie, thanks for that feedback. Okay, so back to you, Rockstar. This is such an interesting conversation, right? Doing nothing all day versus actually doing something. I mean, if it were up to what I want to do, it would be me sipping whiskey all day and having no goals. But if I do that, my life will go a dark path. Most likely anyway, but maybe not. So here's the thing. I mean, I feel like if what you want to do, you know, that old, okay, I'm going to age myself big time, that old Todd Rundgren song, I don't want to work, I just want to bang on the drums all day. That was like my favorite song for the longest time. And the thing is, there's always a way. If that's what you want to do, there's always a way to find a way to do it and get funded and make it work, you know? And will that really be a dark path if you do it for a while? Now, are you an alcoholic? Are you feeding alcoholism? That's a whole other thing. But I think, you know, if you're lacking real motivation to do something, I think it's because all the things that you think you should do are things that don't appeal to you. And that you have to find what appeals to you. And right now, if sitting around drinking whiskey is what appeals to you, how do you monetize that? You know, when I was in that phase of my life, I found jobs I could do with a drink in my hand. Swear to goodness, I did. And when I got out of that phase in my life, I did other things. But I mean, you can do what you want to do. There's always a way. So look at like what motivates you. And if the idea is no matter what you do, it's going to suck anyway, that's depression talking, and you might want to get some treatment for depression. I mean, I'm not a doctor. I can't make a diagnosis, but, you know, that'd be my guess, right? Okay, hang on a minute. Okay, Jeannie, you're back. Yay. Okay, you're going to have to if you're just coming back, you're going to have to reiterate your questions. Okay, Native Son, nice to see you. What do my guides have to say? Your guides have to say that you're not alone and have never been alone. Recognize the support you have on the planet and in the spirit world, and work from that perspective of being supported. Know that you're supported. So, Rockstar, here's my issue with you here. Why would we call the God of the Abrahamic God of the Old Testament and New Testament the ultimate God? Why would we do that? That to me just sort of speaks of that Judeo-Christian superiority that, you know, why? Why would we do that? Just my question here, right? Okay, Priyanka. Will I be with the guy I've been interested in for a year? Certainly you've been interested for a while. I feel like you could certainly get to know this person better and have some conversations. I think there is some possibility here. Yes, Pamela, I did get to George. Thank you very much. So Priyanka, I feel like there is possibility here. And the discouragement that you have regarding relationships, I mean, that's the relationship thing. It is trial and error until you find the right thing. Okay. Okay, Jeannie Mnuchin, so nice to see you. What can the universe tell me about the Arts Festival? How am I doing? No results on workshop registration and ticket sales, just too early. What do I need to focus on? When will results come in? So, how are you doing in general? I mean, you're doing all the things, but there's a lot to do. Do you need to do more promotions? Yes, get the word out. More promotions and getting other people to promote. Will there be ticket sales? Oh, yes, there will be. It will start to happen soon, but right now promotions are key and getting your partners invested in the promotions as well. So, Rockstar, when no options currently appeal to you, it's time to find new options, right? Okay. Yeah, Ben, just the small things, right? Okay, Lisa, nice to see you. Thanks for being here. Messages for you today. Messages for you today, Lisa. Be clear about who you are, what you believe in, what you trust, and what makes sense to you. And embrace your own creativity and your own wisdom. Do not think other people know better than you. Adrija, nice to see you. What you can do to improve your love life. Do not think that the hurts of the past will dictate the future. There's really nothing that you can or need to do, Adrija, except to be open, be present, be willing to meet people, and you will meet decent people and you will have, the ability to make a good choice for a partner. Yeah, so Rockstar, on this channel, if you talk about a higher power, it could be anyone. It could be the flying spaghetti monster. It could be Cernunnos. It could be Zeus. It could be Pan. It could be Diana. It could be Aphrodite. It could be anyone. And that's the space that I live in, and that's the space I create here. So when you step into this space, spirit is everything, everywhere. Spirit is everywhere and everything. So, there it is. Rosie Telser, so nice to see you. I'm going to send a CV to a company tomorrow. Will I get the job? Not necessarily that one, but if you look, so shall you find. So keep seeking, you will get a new job. Okay. Well, yeah, I know, Rockstar. I'm just loving the conversation. I really love philosophical conversation. It just makes me happy, makes my heart sing. Okay. Sujan, current feelings of my girlfriend. Somewhat dissatisfied. If you want this to work, you're going to have a conversation. Okay. Raja Shakar, I hope I pronounced that correctly. When will I get married? It's sooner rather than later, to be honest, and I think it'll be a good match. Krishna, hello, I'm finding matches for my daughter for marriage. When can I find a good match? It's going to take a minute, and take your time. Do not rush this. If you rush this, she will be unhappy. So take your time. Oh, no. Honestly, if people are easily offended, they're probably not going to like this channel, Rockstar. Honestly. We try to stay really, really open-minded here. So there it is. All right, my friends. Did I miss anyone? I want to thank you for sticking with me, coming back after the tech glitch. I'm glad we were able to have this conversation. So nice to see you. And if I missed anyone, or if you haven't asked a question, want to, now's the time. It's last call for reading. Shaw. Yes, I'm enjoying the conversation on cards. We need more open-mindedness about this. Sure. Well, that's the thing. When we talk about the toxic edge of spirituality, one of the places that comes in, and it can happen in tarot, it can happen in every religion, is when people believe that they know for certain what the truth is and that my truth is your truth, and that's the only possible truth. And as soon as we do that, we are very far away from the energy of spirit. And what, at the end of the day, is ultimately the energy of spirit? It's got to be love, right? Okay, Lenata. It feels so difficult for me to be happy these days, but I feel like there was a force out of my control of negativity. Is there more? Am I waiting for the next comment there to, like, what is that the question? Okay, I'm going to go with that as the question. So, a force out of your control bringing negativity into your life, whether or not that is true, doesn't matter. Oh, here we are. And you've left social media. That's probably a good thing. I think, honestly, you have a real opportunity here, Lenata, for your own healing and to welcome your own healing, to recognize your own healing. And it comes in recognizing your own brilliance and your own power. And that's what you really want to focus on. Okay, Priyanka, how can I connect with my spirit guides to get guidance on my anxiety and all? I would say breathe and relax, breathe and relax. How about that? Native Son, will more money come in for me soon? Not necessarily. I wouldn't plan on it. D9, why is D acting vague or sketchy? D is going through a tough time. This may not be personal. It may not be about you. I think this person is going through a tough time. All right, my friends, I want to thank you so much. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being present here. Thanks for being part of this community. I will look forward to seeing you all soon. Take really good care.